What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys my first impression and the stat speculation of our next summer banner that we're getting on Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. So the first unit we have on this banner is Ursula. Now I'm not really the biggest fan of Ursula as a character, but this definitely gives me hope that we might have Summer Lyn or Summer Lyn in future. So that is definitely pretty exciting for me. I would have liked like a full Black Fang summer banner. That would have been really good. And in that, like, Ursula would have been fine. But here Ursula kind of stands out compared to the other characters. But nonetheless, she's here as a colorless Dagger Cavalier. And this is the third one that we have got. So she has got this weapon, and this is like the standard effect of the summer weapons from this banner. So if the foe has got any kind of penalty like a negative status effect or any kind of debuff, then you get +5 speed and +5 attack during the combat. This is a really good effect on a dagger because you already have access to debuffs with that weapon itself, and it's not really all that hard to set up with ploys and chills and stuff like that. So overall a pretty good weapon, and she's got rally attack speed plus, a good dual rally plus skill, and slot B skill is a new skill, so it is pretty much an upgrade of the feint skills, which is understandable because nobody really used the feint skills, and now I guess it's a bit more desirable because it has got another effect on top of it, and it debuffs 2 stats instead of just 1. So if a rally assist skill is used by unit or on target unit, inflicts -5 defense and -5 resistance, and the guard status on foes in the cardinal direction of the unit, and they target through their next action. So this is a pretty good skill to be used on an arena cheerleader because you're going to be running a dual rally skill as it is, and having this kind of defensive debuff on these tanky armor units and tanky armor dragons is definitely going to be useful. The guard status is also really good because in arena, in tier 21 and even in tier 20, you're going to be facing a lot of units with skills like warding breath, bolt fighter, vengeful fighter, the common special accelerating skills. So the guard effect is pretty good on that, and other than that, it doesn't really have a lot of in-game use. I guess it can be used in Aether Raid's defense team. On offense, it's not really all that useful because nobody really uses rally skills on Aether Raid's offense, but on defense, it can be used in a way to set up the guard status on the enemy who's attacking you, and that can be pretty helpful in disabling something like a Noontime Soul on a super tank, or disabling maybe Gale Force. So that's basically its application, but it's definitely much better than the feint skill, much more desirable now, and she's got even res wave as a slot C skill. So Ursula does have pretty good art, and we don't really have too many Dagger Cavaliers. I hope we get a free one sometime down the line. So she's gonna be taking out this green mage. This is a 4-star green mage, and I did calculate her stats based on this. She doesn't really have a special, so assuming this 4-star green mage has got somewhere around 15 to 17 defense, Ursula will have 36 base attack. Now just to make it clear, I'm not really considering the fact that this green mage might have some kind of debuff on it, so I'm just considering that this green mage doesn't have any kind of debuff, and Ursula is just attacking this green mage. So if you subtract everything, then she ends up at 36 base attack, which is actually pretty good. The other 2 Dagger Cavaliers we have, they don't really have the highest base attack. They're a bit faster than Ursula, especially Summer Guntra, and I expect Summer Ursula to not be as fast as them, but like hit harder in general. And I'm expecting her to have good resistance. She does have the res wave skills, so I think 30 resistance would be pretty nice and workable with that. And she's got 36 HP, which we can see. So that's my speculation on Ursula. She's gonna be a bit different stat-wise compared to the other 2 Dagger Cavaliers, but you could only have so many variations when you have not a lot of BST to work with. And the next unit is Summer Lilina. So Summer Lilina is here alone without Summer Roy or Summer Hector accompanying her, which is kind of sad, to be honest. I would have loved Summer Hector, but people would have been really pissed. Because we do have a lot of Hectors, and once again Hector would be here with his Armat, so I guess it's for the best. So she is a red Dagger Cavalier. The only one we have got is Hot Springs Elise, who has got red hot ducks, but Lilina's weapon is definitely a major highlight of this banner. So it's really similar to Guntra's Tome. It's basically a Blizzard dagger, I guess. So Guntra does not have a unique weapon anymore because this is inheritable weapon. This is also refinable. So this is definitely a highlight of this banner when it comes to weapons. So basically any kind of debuffs your enemy has got on them, it adds them to your attack and you can hit harder. And this is really good for CC Vantage dagger users, which you could use in ether raids or for like any kind of content in general. If you have this along with speed smoke and attack smoke, it's really good. Not to mention you can also have this with shield skills on your teammates, ploy skills, and also shrine structures in ether raids. So you could just increase the penalties on your foe and get the most out of this weapon, which is definitely pretty amazing. It's not really all that hard to set up. And this is a really good effect on a dagger, much better than Gunthra's Blizzard Tome, because you outright just have access to plus 14 attack with the -7 defense and rest debuff from your own weapon. So this weapon is really good and I really like it. She's got Rally Up Res Plus skill, another Rally Up Res skill, so it's pretty useful for I guess arena purpose. Can also be useful in ether raids for like the AI manipulation because of how these AoE rally skills interact with the AI. So that does matter. And she's got Attack Res Solo, which is pretty good as a skill on a cavalry unit. Definitely pretty amazing. She's got Sabotage Defense. So this is also a pretty good skill on an arena cheerleader. If you're mainly going to be using Asuka Trio as your bonus units for the most part, because the Asuka Trio is made up of physical units, so you could just have this on an arena cheerleader who has got good resistance and could be a pretty good skill in that regard. But we're definitely going to be seeing this a lot in abyssal maps, I feel like, on inflated enemies. So it kind of gets annoying with that. And then she's got Attack Opening, pretty good skill to buff from a distance. You don't really need to be near the ally or anything like that. So it does have applications in that regard. And that's Summer Lilina. She's all alone. She's probably going to be having voice lines like that. Probably missing Hector or Roy. Yeah. So she's going to be taking out this green mage, and I did calculate the stats of Lilina based on this as well. So this is a 5-star green mage, and 5-star generic green mages have got 20 defense, and Lilina must have 53 attack. So after you subtract the solo skill which she has got and the weapon, might, then she ends up at 35 base attack, and I am expecting her to be not really all that fast, because she has got attack res solo. If she was any like faster, she would probably have attack speed solo. Because that would definitely incentivize more people to pull just for that skill alone, I guess, in the minds of intelligence systems. So I'm thinking like 34 base speed is like at most what she's going to be having, and at worst she could have like lower than 30 speed. That could happen. She could just have a lot of resistance. That could definitely be a possible thing, because Hot Springs Elise is definitely fast. So I'm not really too sure if they want to make too fast Red Dagger Cavaliers. They could just do that, obviously, but still, that's just what I'm thinking. And she's probably going to be having decent resistance, I guess, at worst. And at best, this could like go up to 35 or 36 if they reduce her speed. So that could definitely happen with her stat spread. And this is the stats I'm expecting on Lilina. So that weapon is definitely really amazing and has got a lot of applications. And next up, we have got Wolt. So he's definitely a pretty popular character, I'm pretty sure, in Japan. And he's a green bow cavalier, so Sue has got some competition, or so it seems. So he has got this weapon, which is similar to Ursula. So if you have any kind of penalty on the foe, then you get +5 attack and speed. Not really as good as short bow from Sue, but still something. And then he has got drawback, doesn't really matter too much. And brazen attack speed 4. So it's a tier 4 skill for the brazen line of skills. So now we know this is possible, and a lot of people think this is some kind of busted skill or too insane, but honestly I don't really agree with that. I mean, it's a good skill, but it still has the flaw, like the inherent flaw of being a brazen skill, that it's gonna be useless when you're at full HP, and the first encounters matter a lot in many game modes in the game. Sure, brazen attack speed 4 is gonna be amazing on Celica. You could run that and have 3 dancers on your team and clear every single abyssal map and absolutely shred the universe to its last atom. no doubt about that. But other than that, you're more likely to use something like Fury and have a Brazen Secret Seal and use that so that you can have Fury to get into the Desperation range and also to the range of Brazen Skill. Now, a lot of people might say that Desperation, because a lot of offensive units are going to be using Desperation, you could just run this on slot A, but then again, it's not going to be doing anything until you reach the range of it, and sometimes it can be hard because these kinds of offensive units might not have that much bulk to survive a hit, and they might just get taken out, so there's always a risk of that. So that's why a lot of people do prefer to run a Fury skill. So that's why a lot of people do prefer to run Fury as slot A skill and then just have any kind of Brazen Seal. So I personally don't really see this skill as being extremely busted or a must-have skill unless you worship someone like Celica or a nuke similar to her. Then absolutely this is gonna be a good skill on a nuke like her for clearing pretty much any kind of in-game content with 3 dancers, as a lot of people do. The extra stats this skill gives you definitely seems really desirable, but still it does have the inherent flaw of being a Brazen skill, and it's on slot A, so that's that. So that's personally what I think in my opinion. And this skill, I guess, because it's a 300 SP skill, it can be used on someone like Alphonse because he already has Brazen Attack Defense on his weapon Refine. So on someone like him, it could definitely be useful, but even like in terms of arena usage outside of Alphonse, I don't really see it being all that useful because you're generally forced to run Gale Force or Ether as your high scoring special, and most people do prefer to run Ether because you will have to get the bonus kills, so it's better to stay healthy. It's definitely important. So that's my opinion on the skill. And then we've got Chill Speed on him. Now this definitely makes me feel that Wolt is going to be a bit faster than what I think, and here he's going to be shooting down this Lance Dragon. So he's going to be doing 61 damage, and as you can see, he doesn't have the full HP. So he is a 32 HP, and if you add up the HP, then he ends up having 40 HP. And he's in the Brazen Attack Speed range because he's at 80% health exactly. So after subtracting everything, I think he's going to be ending up at 33 base attack, which is not really all that much because he doesn't really have a preferred weapon. There's actually a mistake on Wolt's weapon. It says 14 might and 1 range, which is not possible obviously on a bow, because this is not a preferred weapon. It's going to be having 12 might. So if my calculations are not wrong, I think he's going to be ending up at 32 or 33 base attack. So just like his base game, he's going to be able to provide some nice chip damage, but he is, I think, going to be fast at base 35 speed. So he basically ends up at the offensive stat spread of Brave Lynn, which is not really all that bad, but still she was a 2017 unit. Brave Lynn does have a preferred weapon and also has Seke's Blessing, which Wolt does not have access to. I think he's going to be frail even though he's got 40 HP. So that's my stat expectation on Wolt. He's probably going to be having lines about Roy as well. And then we have got at last Summer Lyn. Now I actually really like Lyn. FE7 was my first game, baby's first game as people might say. Now Summer Lyn was about as inevitable as Thanos, and even Summer Lucina, I would say, she has got that Cypher art. Even Summer Lucina, I would say, is inevitable at this point. We're gonna be getting her sooner or later. So yeah, here is Summer Lyn. It's gonna be her 6th version, I'm pretty sure. So that's a lot. She's gonna be a blue bow flyer, so she's got so many bow alts, it's actually unreal. Someone who has not played FE7 or any kind of Fire Emblem game and doesn't know Lyn, they're probably gonna be thinking that, okay, bows are her main weapon of choice. So she's a blue bow flyer, definitely pretty unique. I actually really like her bow. The sprite looks really amazing. So she's got a preferred weapon, and it gives her +3 speed. It's effective on flying units and armored units, so pretty similar to Warrior Princess Hinoka's weapon. And instead of having drive attack built into her weapon, she's got this effect where if the foe is at full health, then she gets +4 to all of her stats during the combat in the player phase. So she's definitely a really player phase oriented unit, and this effect is definitely going to be helpful because from what I've speculated, she definitely lacks in the attack department. She's got reposition with attack speed link, which is definitely fantastic, but in my opinion, Desperation is going to be the skill of choice here, because if you want to use her in Arena Assault and slay the armor units, then you definitely need Desperation for the survival. She's got Sturdy Impact as her slot A skill, which is the best skill she could have at slot A, which is really good, and I'm really happy about that. So this is definitely going to be helping her a lot into getting into the desperation range, and in general for facing a lot of the armor units, plus 10 defense is going to be helpful. Now here's the problem, she's a blue archer, and a lot of the armor units that we're going to be facing in Arena Assault are green armor units. So she already has the weapon strangle disadvantage against them. Against neutral matchup, sure, she's going to be doing her job, and you're going to be facing stuff like Zelgius, Halloween Myrrh, and it didn't quite a lot in Arena Assault, so against them, she's going to be having the weapon strangle advantage. But against the majority of the armored threats in Arena Assault, she's going to be at weapon strangle disadvantage, which definitely sucks. If she was a red bow flyer, that would have been really good. So that's my opinion. Sturdy impact is definitely pretty nice, and for the people who do not want to fodder off their Tibarn, then Lynn is the alternate option for foddering off for this skill, because it's a really good skill. And at last, she's got Distant Guard as her slot C skill. Pretty nice for support, I guess. So that's Lynn. She's gonna be an armor slayer, and sturdy impact on her base kit is definitely pretty nice on a unit like her. A lot of people do run sturdy impact on their warrior princess Hinoka if they can afford, and if they really like Hinoka. So she's going to be shooting down this lance dragon, and from the stats I've calculated, and after subtracting every single thing, I think she's going to be ending up at 32 base attack. So that's not a lot for an armor slayer. That's same as warrior princess Hinoka. I think she's going to be fast at 37 base speed. Hinoka has got 35 base speed. I think she's going to be having a bit more speed than her. She also gets +3 speed from her weapon, so she ends up at 40 speed, which is good because you want to run sturdy impact on her slot A, which she comes with, and you don't really want to have any kind of speed enhancing skill. You want to focus on your attack. So I think she's going to be having 37 base speed. I really hope that they give her good defense, unlike Kinshi Knight Hinoka, who has got pathetic defense but good resistance. I hope that she's got good defense. They could also just make it so that she has got 20 defense and more resistance. That's definitely an option they could also take. But I would really like if she has 30 defense, because then she'll be able to reach 44 defense with her weapon and sturdy impact, which is definitely pretty respectable against the armor threats you're going to be facing. So that's my expectation out of Summer Lyn. I do like her a lot, and she's definitely going to be my top priority on this banner. I'm not really too crazy about the brazen skill, because I don't really have any kind of unit who would really need that at the moment. I mean, sure, I do use Celica a lot, but I'm fine without that brazen skill. So it has been announced in the announcement board that Fiora is going to be our free-to-play summer unit that we're getting from the Tempest Trial, and here we can see her on the map. She's a sword flyer, which is so good. When I first saw that Fiora was going to be a free-to-play unit, I thought she was just going to be another lance flyer. So thankfully, she's not a lance flyer and she's a sword flyer. We don't really have a lot of those to give her the competition outside of Pala and Shida. That's pretty much it when it comes to accessible sword flyers. So I'm really looking forward to her stats. We can see that she's got 43 HP and a 3-turn cooldown special. Could be something like Luna. I'm not really too sure. And I'm also looking forward to her skills. Hopefully they're something useful. And now we have all of the potential mothers of Roy and Faye. So that's pretty good for all of the shippers of Eliwood, I guess. So that's my impression of this banner. Definitely not really going to be very meta-influential banner outside of maybe Lilina's weapon and Brazen Attack Speed 4, which is the most valuable thing out of this. And I think most of the people are going to be saving their orbs for the Three Houses banner that we're getting at the end of July. And possibly a Mythic Hero banner featuring a light Mythic Hero, probably Sothis from Three Houses. That could be a possibility. So you definitely can save your orbs for that, because this banner lasts for a month. And before this banner ends, you'll be able to know your potential options. So that's that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be summoning on this banner or not. And if you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like. It helps me tremendously. And if you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. And be sure to hit that notification bell and click on all, so that you can always get the updates to my videos whenever I upload. Because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional and about as responsive as intelligent systems when it comes to releasing joke drawl seasonals. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.